John Scott here with Jonathan Acosta at KeyBank Center, where we heard all morning from some veteran Sabres players following another season ending without making the playoffs here. And Jonathan, the first two in particular using a pretty straightforward word when describing how this season was.
Yeah, the most veteran players, Jason Zucker and Alex Tuch, both used the words failure to describe this season, and I think that's a word that Sabres fans, people who paid attention to this team this season, would agree upon. Lindy Ruff came in to this season hoping to change a couple of things like accountability with this team. I think we saw some improvements in that area. The players said as much, but the main thing he was brought in here to change was the winning culture, getting this team back to the playoffs. And for a 14th straight year, we're talking about a Sabres team that won't be going to the postseason, extending their own NHL record. So yes, for all of the other good things that this team was able to do, they simply didn't win enough games and get to the postseason. And for that reason, it's a failure, like Zucker and Tuch said.
And the landmark moment that almost everyone to a man, including Lindy Ruff, multiple times even before the season ended, have pointed to as to why they are where they are, the 13-game losing streak. The results themselves are obvious. Yes, you lose 13 games, you're going to dig yourself a hole. But some of the guys letting us in that it was even more than just the results. It was maybe what those results were maybe piling on and also ultimately setting the tone the rest of the way.
Yeah, Tage Thompson used the phrase, negativity breeds negativity. So like you said, it wasn't just the results, but this team said that they weren't playing necessarily terrible hockey during that stretch. There was a lot of close games. There were some games where they had big leads, like the blown lead against the Avalanche here on this ice. They were up by 4 goals and wind up losing that game. So it's, again, sort of that culture of winning that this team needs to work upon.
And the question everyone asks at this time of the year for now 14 years is, why should there be belief and confidence that things are ultimately going to change? I asked Tage Thompson that point blank when it comes to the people running the organization, who I know a lot of you don't have faith in, and he said, if you don't have faith in those guys, you shouldn't be here.
And I think a lot of it just also comes down to the players, right? Kevyn Adams can do the job of bringing the certain players in here, but once the players are here, it's on them to go out and win games on the ice. And Rasmus Dahlin talked about how there's talent on this team. He feels like there's enough talent on this team. Experience is a key thing for a team that's still one of the youngest teams in the NHL. Alex Tuch mentioning how all of these young guys now have another year of experience under their belt, something he thinks will be very beneficial. And it's not just any year of experience, but they'll now be going into a year 2 under Lindy Ruff, which means training camp next year should be a little more familiar for these guys. It's not a training camp of looking to implement new ideas, but looking to bounce back and perform even better than what they were able to do this year.
There were a lot of encouraging signs, final 20 games or so of this season, to make you maybe believe that all of the things you're going to hear today and tomorrow actually may lead to actual change and results on the ice. With Jonathan Acosta, I'm John Scott for Channel 2 Sports.